We call civilization the intelligent management of human emotion. That's it. The power, given an intelligent direction and objective, can accomplish spectacular things. The power, the feelings, those surges of heart and soul. What are they? What can they do? Well, here are some. First, disgust. Disgust is a powerful emotion. Disgust says, I have had it. Hey, that could be the day that turns your life around. That's what I said the day that little Girl Scout came to my door. I give her the big lie, she leaves, and I say to myself, I don't want to live like this anymore. I've had it with being broke. I've had it with being embarrassed. And I've had it with lying. What a day. A life-changing day. The day when you've had it. And whether it's something major or something small, the day you can say enough is enough, that could be the life-changing day. The man has finally had it with being a loser. He's had it with mediocrity. He's had it with those awful sick feelings inside, knowing his wife is at the grocery store looking at 2 cans of beans, one marked 69 cents and one marked 67 cents. The man knows his wife is going to buy the 67-cent can, and she doesn't even like the brand. Know why she's going to buy the 67-cent can? To save 2 cents. The man sick inside says, I've had it with being on my knees in the dust looking for pennies. We are not living like this anymore. Look out. That's the day. The I've had it day. The never again day. The enough is enough day. Powerful. Hey, nothing is so life-changing as a powerful disgust. And there's probably nothing so pitiful as a mild disgust. The man says, I kind of think I've had it. How sad. Not powerful enough for life change. Now here's the second emotion, decision. Decision-making is emotional. Those knots in the pit of your stomach, waking up in the middle of the night, lying there in a cold sweat, trying to decide. We sometimes call it inner civil war, conflict, battle of the mind, heart, and soul. It's emotional, it's powerful, and critical. It sets the course or blinds the course. It sets the mind or leaves us helpless, drifting, not being able to make up our mind. Well, for progress we must decide. Come to grips with the surges, the tides, the conflicts. The best advice I can give you is, if it's easy, do it easy. If it's hard, do it hard. Just get it done.
Well, Paul Harvey said that you can tell you're on the road to success because it's uphill all the way. And I'm here to tell you, this something-for-nothing entitlement mindset that invades so many people's lives is a bunch of garbage. I can promise you, nothing that I've ever had worthwhile did I have just kind of fall into my lap like, oh my goodness, I won the lottery. And I know once in a while people win the lottery, but basically the people that win the lottery, half of them lose their money within 3 years, the money they won. And it's because they got money, but they never changed the way they thought. And can I tell you something? If you have all the assets in the world, but you don't change the way you think, you'll lose all the assets in the world. And what I have discovered in this whole process of trade-offs is that every step of the way of my journey, I have to trade something off. And and for you that are young, the good news is your trade-offs will never be easier than when you're young. Because I remember when Mark and I started out, I think, man, I gave up everything. I was a pastor to go into ministry. I gave up everything, and then I started smiling. And I thought, sure, I gave up everything. I didn't have anything to give up when I did. I was a kid. You know what I mean? I had a 1964 Ford Falcon and a U-Haul trailer and 5 pieces of furniture, and life was grand, and off we went. Here's what I've discovered, Ken, and I think that I want the audience to know, I want everybody watching around the world to know today, and this is very simple. The more successful you become, the higher the trade-offs are. You see, we make a mistake thinking it gets easier. It doesn't get easier, it gets harder. And the more you have, every time you go back and say, am I willing to risk that again? The more you realize, wow, I'm not sure I am willing to risk this. And what I've learned is the moment I stop making trade-offs is the moment that I plateau. And life is continually filled with trade-offs. In your life and in my life, my expression I use all the time, Ken, you've heard me you say this, you have to give up to go up.
The people who dream and those people who dream big have a different kind of life than the people who don't dream.
When are you going to stop compromising your life for what everybody else wants you to do? It is your life.
It's the reinforcement of those goals, like understanding that you can achieve those goals. It's going to be difficult. You're going to push through the difficulty, and then you're going to understand what difficulty truly is and how much of it is just mental, how much of it is just in your mind, this adversity to a difficult task or to struggle.
You have to want something so big that it wakes you up in the middle of the night. You have to want something so big that you think about it all the time. No matter what happens to you, it ain't over. It ain't over. Ain't no such a thing as over. As long as God wakes you up, that means he ain't through with you yet. You got a shot to correct it and get it right.
Even when you lose, it's okay to lose, but you can't never get comfortable with it.
Your brain is the most powerful weapon in the world. Your brain is the only thing you have when you're going through depression, when you're going through hard times, when you're going through death. Real life, you're alone. There's 24 hours in the day where you're alone in this brain, and your brain is talking to you in all kinds of ways, and it wants to control you and pull you in these different pockets. If you can't control your own brain and your brain controls you,
Greatness is upon you, and it's time for you to bring that thing out.
When things don't work out for you, when things happen that you could not anticipate, what are the reasons that you can think of that can keep you strong?
You will never, ever be successful until you turn your pain into greatness, until you allow your pain to push you from where you are to push you to where you need to be.
That is you. That is you. But no one can do it for you but you. And even though you face disappointments, even though you will experience some setbacks, it goes with the territory. You must understand that. What if all of us took that attitude after we face a rejection and a no, or we have a meeting and no one shows up, or somebody say, you can count on me, and they don't come through? What if we have that kind of attitude? The car's repossessed. Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day and saying to yourself, in spite of what you went through, in spite of how you suffered, you're still looking at your dream, saying to yourself, it is not over until I win.
You have to want something so big that it drives you to wake up when you don't want to. It keeps you up at night when you long been sleepy. It makes you show up, do things you wouldn't normally do. It requires extra.
I don't know who this is for. I don't know what you've been through. I don't know how bad it hurt you. It hurt pretty bad. You survived, but something on the inside died in the process. And you're a shell of what you would have been, what you could have been, what you ought to have been, because life has cost you so much that you're wanting to focus.
And most people don't work on their dreams. Why? One is because of fear. The fear of failure. What if things don't work out? And the fear of success. What if they do and I can't handle it? These are not risk takers.
Turn your wounds into wisdom. You will be wounded many times in your life. You'll make mistakes. Some people will call them failures. But I have learned that failure is really God's way of saying, excuse me, you're moving in the wrong direction. It's just an experience.
When you think about life, everybody wants the prize, but nobody wants the process. Everybody wants the championship, but nobody wants the day-to-day. Everybody wants to win games, but nobody wants to put in the work that it takes to win games. In the Bible, it talks about in Proverbs, it says, the laborer's appetite works for him, and his hunger drives him on. The laborer's appetite works for him, and his hunger drives him on. And so my question to you all is, what's your appetite for winning? Because if you have an appetite for winning, your hunger will drive you every day. Your hunger will take you to the weight room. Your hunger will take you past 32. Your hunger will take you past the opposition. Your hunger will take you past adversity. Your hunger will take you past the situation.